I've been coaching bridal stores for 6 years now. It's been so fun. It is actually my favorite thing to do because I used to be a teacher and my master's degree is in curriculum design. So it's very natural for me to take everything I'm learning about my business and how we've been able to go from starting it at a 900 square foot, literally like a super teeny tiny shop, to what it is today, where we own our own building and have a really amazing staff, and they really run it without me, which is allowing me to be able to coach, which has been such a gift, because I feel like I'm in my calling really to come alongside business owners like you guys to make sure that your business can also be profitable and not just a hobby. You guys work so hard and you give up your weekends. So for this to be something that you make money at would also be my goal. So it's not just something you love and have a passion for, but something that you also can turn into a profitability situation, because one day we want you to be able to retire and sell the business for a good amount of money to set yourself up for the end game. So those are kind of the goals I have for my clients, to help them enjoy their business more, have a little bit more freedom, and to be profitable enough to have something valuable to sell when it is their time to retire. Today, I'm going to talk to you about invisible leaks inside of your business. But what I really want to start by saying is, Boss is created to teach you how to make more profit, but this was kind of an interesting take when I created this lesson. I was like, I'm teaching all these people on how to make more money, make more money, make more money. But what's crazy is that some of them aren't realizing that some of it's sneaking out the back door, and they're not realizing the cost that they're incurring. So I can help people make a lot of money for sure. But what I also want to say is, be mindful to watch the back door, so that while the revenue is coming in, you're not also just losing it for a silly reason out the backside. Does that make sense? So today is more about what's accidentally, maybe silently leaving back here, while we continue to charge ahead forward on profitability strategies for sure. I want us to not lose a blind eye to what's happening behind us. These are the 3 leaks, and we're gonna go through them one by one. They are, first, the cost of losing an employee. The second is the true cost per appointment. And the third is the discount that keeps costing, okay? Invisible cost number 2, the true cost of one appointment. So some people tell me, they're like, oh, I just give my stylist brides, they just take them and whoever is available and things like that. To me, that is very casual. It's a casual approach to taking appointments. I know there is a specific cost to running an appointment inside of Something New that's north of $700. I'm going to show you how to calculate that here in just a second. So when I hand someone a bride, it is a $700 minimum opportunity for them to take a bride. And then if they don't close them, I lost $700 before I even made any money. After the $700 cost, now if they sell a dress, the profit is now going to be profitable. But if they don't, I just lost $700 out the window. So I run very strictly on a rotation basis, where my top sellers are always taking appointments. And if you are not on your A game today, for whatever reason, I might even pull you out of rotation, because in my opinion, you can't be like, no hair, no makeup, crying and having the worst day ever, and then try to give an excellent experience that costs $700 to a bride. Like, this is a very huge opportunity, and we need to see it as a gift we're giving someone in sales. They didn't have to recruit a customer. They didn't have to go out and get their own lead. They didn't have to do the marketing. They didn't have to pay for the overhead. And I just presented them with an amazing opportunity, a real life human that is interested in our product. In most sales careers, you have to do all of that front end and still close a sale. And I didn't require them to do that. I did all the front end, all the expense. Now they have the customer in front of them. All they have to do is close the sale. So to me, I always remind my staff, this is such a gift that I'm giving you, is a pre-sold, prepped, primed, qualified lead in your presence to sell a dress to. And you got to give them an excellent 10 plus experience. If you don't, then you actually lost money for my company and reputation. So I explained to them that if you do not close at a certain rate, that you actually did not bring an ROI to your job. You were actually costing the company more money than you were bringing value to your job. So I think every human is valuable, absolutely, but their ROI comes from their sales conversion and from the dollars that they bring to their company. And some of us have people standing around, and when you do the math, they aren't generating more income than they make. And I should say that again. Some of us have staff standing around and they're not generating more income than they personally make. And that is a mistake. I'm never scared to grow my team or hire because I have safeguards within my company that every single person is generating enough income to more than pay for their own position, but then and to add sales and to add revenue and to grow the company. So hiring someone should not be seen as an expense if you have it set up correctly. Hiring someone should be seen as a way to increase the revenue of your company because that employee will generate more than she makes and the profit will be there. So that is a bigger conversation to have in the future. However, specifically just today, to break down one cost, I'd love for you to be able to calculate what the cost of an appointment is in your store. How you're going to do that is step one. You are going to look at your monthly fixed overhead. Things like your rent, utilities, software, insurance, fixed costs that you cannot change every single month. Then you're going to take your overhead plus the amount of monthly appointments that you have, and you will divide them, okay? You will also add the labor rate to that and divide them. So basically, you're gonna get a true cost of one appointment. Example, let's say you spent $20,000 for your monthly overhead divided by 60 appointments. So that was $333 plus the $80 of labor. So in this example that I put at the bottom of the screen, it would be $413 per appointment. Are you tracking with me? So you took the overhead fixed divided by the appointment count and then add your labor, and that's your appointment cost. So in this particular store example, and remember I told you for me personally, it's upwards of $700. It's a little over $700 in my store. So that's the true cost of an appointment. If that person does not sell a dress, that person lost $413, but also the opportunity cost of what she could have sold and the profit margin on what she could have sold. So when your girls take an appointment, are they relaxed about it? Are they chill? Or are they like, I have such an opportunity and the owner of this store is spending $413 just to get a bride to this moment in time, and now I'm going to take it from here and try to get her across the finish line. If not, we just spent $413 without anything else to generate revenue from. So my girls know the number, and people ask me that all the time. How open are you? I'm like very open with my numbers around here. I want people to feel business acumen. I want them to feel like they're in a professional work environment and there's no secrets about what it costs to run this place. So when I say it cost me $720, they know that walking into that appointment, they had that number cha-ching in their forehead. I better go give it my best. I better go give it my best. So I would really encourage you to figure out what the true cost of an appointment is. And inside of Boss, again, if you guys are in my program, you guys have the downloadables that'll help you to calculate and put in all those numbers so that you can communicate with your staff very transparently. This is what it costs and this is what we lose every time you don't make a sale. So if we are not closing above 50% as a team, we're actually losing more money than we're making. So as a team, we always want to be aiming for above 50%, okay? Above 50%. We should not be aiming for less.